What's up, guys? My name's KhaoticK, back at you guys with a little one today, and we're coming at you with a new substance review. And so we're going to be reviewing 7-hydroxymitragynine. So I tried this out recently. I actually had tried the tablets, and I had tried the vape form of it, which is pretty fucking interesting. So we're going to get into the difference between both those methods. Do not ever vape that shit, bro. It's so close to like vaping a fucking opiate. It's definitely more addicting. Definitely don't do that. But, I would say 7-OH, the tablets, it was like kratom in a pill form. Honestly, for me personally, ODSMT is stronger, obviously, but I wouldn't really go for 7-OH. But it actually feels really nice. And, I would say, if you're trying to use it for functional use, it actually is a lot more useful. And it wasn't really strong. Like, I could take a 30 milligram tablet. I mean, it would kind of get me there, but supposedly it's like 10 to 15 times more potent than morphine, which is kind of strange. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. But I hope you guys to stay high, stay lifted. Let's get right to the video and stay tuned. So, I had bought this shit like a few weeks ago. And yeah, I was kind of late to the party because, I just didn't really care that much for it. But compared to kratom, it's definitely a lot more stronger. It actually hits the spot. Kratom kind of is like hit or miss sometimes. Although kratom, don't get it wrong, 3 or 4 capsules of pretty good kratom can definitely feel pretty good. So anyways, yeah, compared to kratom, definitely at least like probably 10 times stronger. And these were chewable tablets. So that was pretty interesting. Felt pretty nice. And yeah, I also had it done pseudo-indoxyl, a combination of pseudo-indoxyl and 7-hydroxymitragynine. And that's mitragynine pseudo-indoxyl. So apparently this is like a synthetic compound. It's almost like a research chemical. It's more closely related to a research chemical, but it is more closely related to kratom. So they're starting to make fucking kratom analogs now. Pretty fucking interesting. I was going to make another substance review on pseudo-indoxyl. So this is just about 7-hydroxymitragynine. So anyways, so the come up, it was pretty quick. When you chew those tablets, I started feeling effects within 15 minutes, bro. It was fast acting, bro. It was lit. And, it was such a chill opiate kind of like drug. It was definitely less addicting than a real opiate, but it was, just as addicting if you have a bad habit of use. If you were addicted to opiates, you're definitely going to be addicted to this. So don't go into it thinking you're not going to be able to escape that shit. And definitely, if you're like already taking kratom, you're going to be addicted. So don't trade one addiction for the other. But yeah, compared to kratom, definitely the same addiction potential, I would say, if not more, because it is stronger. It's very similar to a kratom shot, right? I've never even done a kratom shot, so I don't really know what that feels like. But yeah, it feels very similar to that, apparently. But also, I wanted to get into the vaping form of 7-hydroxy. So vaping that shit, I bought the little vape, although that shit broke on me, bro, real fast. Like all of a sudden it just stopped fucking working. I don't know what the fuck goes on with these vapes, bro. They don't fucking check shit. But luckily I got like a little vaporizer and I extracted the fucking oil out of that vape, and I started vaping it out of my little Yocan vaporizer. Because those are, they're cheap. They're cheap enough to be worth it. Like, if that makes any sense. They're like cheap premium vapes. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. They're a pretty good brand. But yeah, so I vaped it out of that. And I was like, okay, all right. So at least I didn't waste the vape. But yeah, so the effects come on immediately. It literally feels like you just vaped kratom. Very interesting. I would say it's less effective, obviously, than oral dosing it. It doesn't really get you high. Like, you really have to push it. It doesn't really get me high. It just makes you, like, tired. So there's no euphoria in that. There's not really any euphoria vaping it for some reason. I would feel like it's, like, more of, like, a chill kind of drug, like, where you just kind of, like, relax. It's very good to, like, take before you sleep. That'd be a good method of doing it. But you don't want to become addicted to vaping that shit. That's not good for your lungs. So I definitely do not recommend vaping 7-hydroxymitragynine. So do not fucking do that shit. And honestly, it was so lackluster. I didn't even think of making a fucking substance review about the 7-hydroxy vape, bro. It was really just not that worth it, I would say. It was just so similar to chewing it in a tablet form, bro. So yeah. So not much to say there. I would say it's pretty lackluster when vaped. It's definitely more effective when taken orally, obviously. But yeah, so take it as normal. Don't take it as like a crackhead, bro. Don't smoke that shit. But yeah, so I would say for pain, it's probably like a 7 out of 10 relieving kind of an effect. Not that pain relieving, I would say. ODSMT is a lot more pain relieving. So it's kind of weak in that regard, definitely. But it does have its, positives, obviously. I didn't feel any negatives, bro. Honestly, actually, matter of fact, I forgot to mention this. Working on that shit. So, I work like a customer support job, right? Working on 7-hydroxymetragenine was a good thing to do, because I don't know why, but it laser focused you. It's very similar to caffeine with the mental aspect, the mental energy focus. It kind of feels similar to like a low dose of caffeine or green tea or something. But yeah, it felt really nice at work is what I'm saying. Like I could do my work better. The day went by easy, bro. Like I take that shit. You don't even worry about the time. You know how you're always checking the time and kind of like anxiety. I didn't have that. I didn't need any anxiety. I had no anxiety. I didn't worry about when the day was going to start or when it was going to end. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, all right, I'm going to just do this shit. I'm going to do my best. And yeah, it makes you do your best naturally. And I don't know, like, it's pretty strange. Obviously, it's unnaturally. You're on a drug, but I would say it unlocks the potential in you. Very similar to taking like an opiate that gives you energy at work. I don't know. Opiates just kind of tend to put you in the zone. And that could be addicting. So please don't take that as advice. I would just say I just wanted to mention that. You could take it here and there, and it will enhance your work. Okay, that's addicting, obviously. So keep it to a minimum. Take breaks, like on the weekends and shit. But yeah, you don't want to be taking that every day. But yeah, so it has its use cases, I would say. It's a very, very fun kratom analog. It's not really a kratom analog. Well, I mean, kind of is. It's in trace amounts in regular kratom leaves. So it's very, very like small and in concentration, right? So they extract that and then they like make it more pure and more, extracted, right? And they put it in like 15 milligram to 30 milligram tablets. And when it's extracted, it's a lot closer to a real opiate than it's not. So if you have addiction potential, please don't do that. Just stick to kratom, bro. And already, kratom could be very addicting, bro. So don't trade one for the other. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. But I would say that drugs are fun, obviously. Drugs could be bad. Drugs could be good. Drugs could be whatever you make it, bro. And drugs have spanned generations. I mean, there's so many different types of drugs and chemicals. Caffeine is a common drug that's consumed on a daily basis by the majority of the population. So that's one example there. So honestly, it's about how you use these substances, bro. You got to watch how you're using them. You got to really make sure you're not abusing them. And yeah, put a little rhyme in there. Hopefully it's ingrained in your brain a little better. But yeah, you don't want to be a trendsetter of addictions. You want to be a trend lesser of addictions, I guess you could say. You don't want to follow in the shoes of addicted people. So yeah, take it from me. I had a slight addiction to opiates. I mean, it didn't last that long, but it was a pretty severe addiction if it kept going. So anything that acts on the receptor could be like kryptonite, bro. In a kind of a good way in the beginning, but it's like kryptonite in a good way in the beginning, but then it's going to be bad right in the end when you can't escape that drug. So yeah, so I would advise 7-hydroxy. Definitely use the same harm reduction. Keep naloxone if you have that with you, just in case. You never know if you want to push that shit too much, bro. And you never know if that shit could be cut. Definitely don't buy it from any illicit people. Don't buy it on the streets. Buy it at a fucking head shop. It's legal right now. It's basically gas station heroin, but better. Yeah, so anyways. Yeah, so that stuff feels good. And overall, I would rank it, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I'll put it right there. Not more than that. I was kind of expecting more from it, honestly. And maybe you have to combine it with something that enhances the effects to feel it more. But why would you need to do that? You should be able to feel it off of just itself. So I would say, for me, probably because, I don't have a virgin brain anymore, you could say. I don't really get that high from it. Yeah, I've already tortured this brain with a bunch of little chemicals. And honestly, I think there might be some long-term tolerance there. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Definitely. Yeah, there's definitely a long-term tolerance with opiates, so please keep in mind, don't push it too much, man, because even nowadays, it just takes a lot for me to get fucking nodded out on that shit. Almost up to 100 milligrams of ODSMT I need to nod out. So, yeah, there's a slight tolerance for sure. But anyways, Yeah, so leave it down in the comments if you guys have ever tried this 7-hydroxymetragenine metabolite, actually, because it is a metabolite, or alkaloid, or analog, however you want to classify that as. But yeah, leave it down in the comments if you guys have ever tried it, what method of use, you know, if you guys have tried the vapes going around. Hope you haven't, but yeah, I just want to know your experience. And if you guys have tried it, and yeah, just how it felt for you, what you would think the use case is for you. But also, please don't be abusing it, obviously. And yeah, I would say right up there with Kratom as a favorite of mine. It's definitely very, very nice. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are staying high, staying lifted, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.